Ethan Hayes had always believed that New York City was too loud for pain to survive in, but he learned slowly that sometimes the loudest cities are the ones where heartbreak hides the deepest. The city never stopped moving, but he did. He had stopped the moment Ava walked out that night, the night rain slapped the windows like a punishment, the night he had said things he wished he could erase from the air. Ethan still remembered the look on her face, the way her lips trembled as she tried not to cry, the way her voice cracked when she said she felt like she was loving a man who was always half present. He told her she was being dramatic. He told her she needed to give him space. And she whispered, "Space is all you ever have for me." Then she left. He thought she would return the next morning. Nobody disappears after a fight like that, right? But she did. And the only thing she left behind was the last message she sent him at 1:37 a.m., "I'll talk to you when I'm ready." He kept staring at that message for 91 days, hoping it would magically update, hoping the typing dots would appear again someday. But the dots never came. The silence became permanent, his Brooklyn apartment slowly turned into a cave, curtains always closed, dishes piling up, the city noise fading into a distant blur. Ethan worked from home now, rarely went out, barely spoke to anyone. His life shrank into the small rectangle of his phone screen, where he kept rereading old messages from Ava, listening to her voice notes like they were relics of a person who no longer existed. He would close his eyes and imagine her laugh echoing in the hallway again, but when he opened them, all he saw was emptiness. Then one morning, when the December air was unforgiving, his phone vibrated. His heart jumped. For a split second he believed, like a fool, that it was her. But it was a calendar reminder, Ava's birthday, today. Ethan sat on the edge of his bed, rubbed his hands through his hair, and felt a wave of self-hatred wash over him. He used to make her birthday magical, pancakes shaped badly like hearts, that stupid oversized gift bag that she used to tease him for, the handwritten letters she always kept in her drawer. Now all he had was a silent apartment and a phone that refused to light up with her name. He tried typing a message. "Happy birthday." Then he erased it. "I miss you." Erased again. "Ava, talk to me please." Deleted. He locked the phone and threw it across the bed, feeling the sting of tears he refused to let fall. In the evening he forced himself to walk, because walking was the only way he kept himself from drowning. He ended up at the small park near Williamsburg Bridge, the place where they'd had their first kiss. He sat on the same old bench, now rusted, the wood cold beneath him. The wind cut across his face, but he stayed. He let himself remember her hands holding his cheeks, her eyes sparkling even though she pretended she wasn't nervous. She always had this strange mix of confidence and vulnerability that made her feel human in a way nobody else ever did. Ethan whispered, "Happy birthday, Ava," into the air, knowing it wouldn't reach her but saying it anyway. When he finally stood up, the city felt heavier. He walked without a destination, just letting his feet take over. Then, on Bedford Avenue, something froze him in place. A missing person poster, wrinkled, weathered by rain, taped to a streetlight. The black and white photo nearly knocked the breath out of him. From that day on, he searched. He visited hospitals daily, walking through corridors filled with people whose eyes reflected pain. He went to shelters where hope and despair lived side by side. He checked train stations, diners, parks, the bookstore she used to love. He plastered missing posters on walls, poles, coffee shops. Sometimes strangers helped for a minute. Most walked past him. A few promised to keep an eye out but never did. He walked until his shoes wore thin and his feet blistered. He barely slept. He barely ate. He barely breathed. Missing. Ava Morgan, age 26. Last seen, April 17th. Contact NYPD if found. The date. April 17th. The night of their fight. Ethan's stomach twisted. He reached toward the paper, touching her face like she might somehow feel it. His throat closed up. How could she be missing? How could nobody tell him? Why would her family not call him? He felt betrayed by them, by destiny, by himself most of all. He called her sister with shaking hands. She answered sounding tired, drained, older than she was. When Ethan asked why she didn't tell him, her voice cracked. I didn't know if you'd want to know after everything. But he kept going because the idea that Ava might be somewhere, hurt, scared, alone, was a weight he couldn't ignore. Love becomes something else when the person is missing. It becomes duty. It becomes torment. It becomes hope that tastes like poison. Weeks turned into months. Snow dusted the sidewalks. Christmas lights went up everywhere, mocking him with their cheerfulness. He pretended to be okay for the world, but every night he returned to his apartment and collapsed onto the floor, drowning in the same fear. What if she needed him, and he wasn't there? Then, one rainy evening, Ethan found a small cardboard box outside his apartment door. No name. No markings. Just a plain box soaked slightly from the drizzle. He carried it inside with trembling hands. Inside was a phone. Her phone. Ava's phone. His heart nearly stopped. How? Who? Why? He sat on the floor, staring at the device like it was a ghost. The screen was cracked on one corner, but when he pressed the button, it lit up. Her wallpaper still showed a picture of the two of them laughing in Central Park. She was squinting at the sun. He had his arm around her shoulders. He hadn't seen that picture in months. His vision blurred. There were unread messages. Dozens. Sent to someone saved as unknown. Messages filled with fear. I think someone is following me. Ethan would know what to do, but I can't call him. I'm scared. His hands shook violently. She needed him. She looked for him. And he wasn't there. Then the last message broke him completely. Sent at 2:08 a.m. on the night she vanished. If anything happens to me, tell Ethan I'm sorry. Tell him I loved him even when he pushed me away. Ethan covered his mouth to stop the sob that ripped through him. Every breath felt like a blade. All the times he ignored her calls. All the times he dismissed her feelings. All the moments he could have held her but chose his work instead. Everything crushed him at once. Police immediately, but they told him the phone didn't reveal much. No location. No suspect. No leads. Just a dead end. Just heartbreak. Days passed. Then weeks. Ethan kept searching, but slowly his hope turned into something fragile, like a candle flickering in the wind. One evening, while sitting in that same park where they first kissed, he opened Ava's phone again. There was a draft message addressed to him. She never sent it. Maybe she didn't get the chance. Ethan. I'm tired of being brave alone. I wish you would hold me one more time. I don't know what's happening to me. I'm scared. But I still love you. I always will. He broke. Completely. Utterly. And that night, for the first time in months, Ethan allowed himself to cry in the open, not caring who saw. The wind moved through the trees, the city hummed around him, and he felt like a man who had lost not just a person, but a lifetime. A year passed. Ava was never found. Her case stayed open. Her absence stayed louder than any presence. Ethan moved to a smaller apartment, started therapy, and began volunteering for missing person families. But every night he visited that bench. Every night he whispered the same words into the cold New York air. "I'm sorry. I hope you know I loved you too. I still do." And the last message she left him remained the lock screen on her phone, a message he kept close like a wound that never healed. "I'll talk to you when I'm ready." He waited every day, knowing she never would, but loving her anyway.